The unknown.
Douglas Murray, would you like to see the veil banned here?
Well, I think, like a majority of British people, I think that it should be banned in public places, particularly places like courtrooms, where it's absolutely imperative that a jury are able to see the faces of people who are accused. As for an overall ban, I think, look, my own opinion is that niqab is highly undesirable. I think that we live in a society where people do show their faces, where huge amounts of our social interaction depend on people showing their faces. I think that it's very difficult to enforce a ban in public places like streets. In public places like streets. In public places like streets. But it should be certainly a desirable thing to discourage its wearing.
To impose a ban, but in principle you'd like to see one because you think in Britain it's unacceptable.
In public buildings, in courts, in schools and places like this, absolutely, I think a ban would be very sensible. In streets and so on, I think it's difficult, but it should be societally discouraged. But it should be certainly a desirable thing to discourage its wearing.
To impose a ban, but in principle you'd like to see one because you think in Britain it's unacceptable.
In public buildings, in courts, in schools and places like this, absolutely, I think a ban would be very sensible. In streets and so on, I think it's difficult, but it should be societally discouraged.
Destroy the minorities and the religious belief in the name of equality.
What if the majority feel uncomfortable, feel uneasy and say they don't want it?
I think then the onus is on us as well, isn't it? I mean, to actually reach out. And I'm hoping that this is just going one step towards that, to say to people, look, you know, we're human beings just like you.
But if I may very quickly, religious freedom is an extremely important thing, and I think most people who would agree, I hope in this room, that Britain is the most tolerant place in the world to live, including as a Muslim.
Yeah.
But let's just add one thing to this, if I may. The issue of social interaction is very important, and not just to me, but obviously to a majority of the British people. Yeah. What I say tonight, what Yasmin says and other people say tonight, people see our faces, they know who said it. I'm sorry to say this, but nobody knows who you are. I'm sorry to say this, but nobody knows who you are. I'm sorry to say this, but nobody knows who you are. I'm sorry to say this, but nobody knows who you are. They can hear your name, they can't see you. If I say something stupid on television tonight, people know it's me saying it. If you do, with all due respect, you can disappear and no one knows.
No, we're not this.
I'm really sorry. Maybe you haven't really met women in Niqab. I would like to invite you out to my house. You know, you can see my face. We can sit together. We can have a laugh.
Sexy time. Yeah.
I would like to invite you out to my house. You know, you can see my face. We can sit together. We can have a laugh.
How do I know if she wants me to take her?
I would like to invite you out to my house. You know, you can see my face. We can sit together. We can have a laugh.
Yes, but
and then I think it will change your
Douglas
opinion.
can come to your house and see your face, though, could he?
I can assure you I'm not going
He
to be
could meet
aroused.
my husband. No, you're welcome. You would be welcome to, you know, come to my house.
Sexy time. Yeah.
A lot of good work is done. I don't see their face, they don't see my face. So it's not really about looking at someone and really connecting with that person, because we don't... We don't connect with the outer, we connect with the inner.
So you think the loneliness that you talked about seeing in these women comes from where?
And not a single person, not a single woman has said to me, my husband has forced me to wear a niqab. What the issues they do have is regards to niqab, I am fearful to go out, I'm at home, I'm lonely, I'm depressed. I don't even want to go out because I feel like I'm not accepted. And the other thing I really want to express is that where is the humanity? You know, at the end of the day, you know, as a woman, as a person, as a human being, where's my right to be who I am? This is my identity.
You have that right. You have that right, and you exercise it, and so are all of the other ladies in this room. But the question is whether or not, and I would ask this of I think of everyone in the room who's covered, do you think that by covering your face from everyone else in society, you are exacerbating difference or making it less bad?
Mariam, would you...
Any of you at least recognise that you are exacerbating a difference?
Is this divisive?
Well, first and foremost, I think we need to look at human rights. Okay, in 1998 there was the Human Rights Convention. Okay, under Article 9 it specifically says we all have the freedom of expression, we have the freedom of belief, we have the freedom of so many things that, you know. Like in this country, I thought great.
Mariam, on Douglas Murray's point, sorry, on Douglas Murray's point, that this is, you know, do you understand that many people feel this is divisive? It is a curtain between you and the rest of society.
Well, to be quite frank, I think people are free to feel how they want. It doesn't. I don't care how you feel. I don't care how you feel. It's really no. Wait. Really and truly, it's about my human rights. My human right, I am allowed to cover. You don't have to agree.
Very briefly,
I don't care how you feel.
It's on the point that many people in the survey said that they feel unease, they feel uncomfortable, they feel anxious.
I don't care how you feel. I feel like that towards emos, but that's all right.
Can I just point out, there is something fundamentally ludicrous about somebody dressed as you are talking the language of modern human rights.
I don't care how you feel. It's
fundamentally ludicrous.
I don't care how you feel. It's
your mind. What's in your mind, Douglas?
There is no one, or no doctor or a nurse who actually wears the niqab in NHS.
Just very,
even
very
myself,
on that point,
because
isn't that an acknowledgement that there is a difficulty for many people that patients would find it uncomfortable?
No, it's not actually like that.
That patients would find it
it's not actually like that. Because I am not given a choice to wear it within NHS. When I know it as a fact that if I wear my face veil and go to a job interview, I will never be taken up for a job.
How is it? Is it, to ask, you all here, how is it that you say it's an absolutely fundamental, you have to wear it, it's a right, it's a necessity upon you, but yet you say you go through an airport and it doesn't matter if you lift it? Is it so negotiable? In France, many of the women who said we cannot go out if we don't wear it have taken it off.
Sexy time. Yeah.
Can I just say,
Shalina.
You know, there is a place where we have the right to exercise our right. And if this was a school or a playground, you know, as far as I'm concerned, the bullies are winning here. There is a majority of people who have the power and resources to put out there an image about the niqab. I teach in schools, and I said to a young bunch of children, I said to them, if somebody came into your school, a boy, and he had nail varnish on, and he had high heels on, you know, and you seen him getting bullied, would you defend his right to be the way he was? Or would you ask him to change the way that he's dressed? Now, this is what I'm saying is, I said that I respected the fact that in context, you said in a courtroom, in the classroom, or in public settings where there are people who have got mixed opinions, that we should have policies and procedures that control these things. But being in Britain, I'm proud to be British.
Just very
when I wear the niqab, I'll be closer to God. It's an act of worship, it's an act of modesty, and it's liberating. And it's liberating. And dignifying. And since then, I've never changed my mind. And it's liberating. And it's liberating. And is liberating. And although my parents, my mum, my sister don't wear it, it's my personal choice.
But yes, and in a free society, the opinions of other people also have to matter. It's not just about you exercising your choice. The way other people feel about that should be of some concern to you.
But you know, these feelings are coming from negative prejudices.
We have
coming from
you don't want men's opinions?
No.
You don't want men's opinions?
I'm sorry. We are going to have to end it there. I'm really sorry.
As the only man, I'm sorry you don't want to hear men's opinions.
Thank you very much for joining us. I'm afraid that is all we've got time for, though many more people wanted to speak. I'm afraid that is all we've got time for, though many more people wanted to speak.
Hello?